Hi everybody, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Saturday the 27th of April 2019. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm using the Twisted Tarot Tales deck for today's reading. Let's have a look at what the cards want you to be aware of. Temperance, the Page of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. All right, so as you can see, these are very unconventional takes to the original tarot card. First, we have Temperance, which is usually an angel dipping its toe in and trying to get to some sort of state of enlightenment. The Page of Swords is someone who's managing how to think and how to act and make decisions. The development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race, Stephen Hawking. So they've added that. So humanity is messing around with artificial intelligence at the moment. And that's actually a good example of the Page of Swords because we don't know what will happen. The artificial intelligence could grow and grow and grow. I mean, so many films have been made about this, that it takes over and it turns against humanity. And then finally, we have the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups rules the water. But here she's in a toxic wasteland. So she's very unhappy. She can't rule. Love has been taken from her in a way because it's been ruined by humanity. So we've got a theme here of incompetence, of humanity kind of devilishly grinning and participating in their own destruction. Temperance is about balance. It's about realizing that you're here on planet Earth and that there are higher forces at work. She realizes this. She's got this blue cloak on and a purple cape. Witch's hat with stars and the moon. So I love this. So great. It's just like out of a storybook. And she's pouring this poisonous kind of fluid into a jar. She's got all her equipment and all her ingredients. Eye of newts and flies and the books to spells, snake skin, frog's legs, everything. So she realizes that there is something like magic, and that when you use certain physical ingredients, you can activate that magic and you can create something that's going to fulfill your will, your desires. A love spell is unfair because if you cast a love spell on someone, you're forcing someone to fall in love with you who otherwise wouldn't fall in love with you. If you're casting a protection spell, I suppose that's also unfair because you're getting an advantage and maybe you don't deserve protection. Who knows? So this is about taking your will into your own hands rather than finding a balanced spirituality which connects you with your higher self and leads you to something greater. This is personal will interfering and saying, I am going to use these spiritual properties in the higher realm for my own purposes. I'm going to use those purposes to manipulate people. And also her face being the traditional face of the witch, it doesn't look like a face that's genuinely kind and loving. So there's a sense of the malign connected with her and her using spirituality for negative purposes. Then the Page of Swords, like we said, Page of Swords is learning how to think and learning how to communicate. And in this case, really heavily, seriously working through trial and error. And trial and error can have extremely serious consequences, like someone dying here and the information being destroyed and ruptured. He's got these triangles on his shoulders. They point upwards. And it's about trying to learn. It's about trying to get better. And that's what the Temperance card in the original tarot is also about. It's about trying to find balance in life and trying to get to a place of greater understanding, rather than grabbing your own will and having more of your desires come true. The Queen of Cups is love. She's nurturing. She's intuitive. She's healing. But even she can't heal the mess that's been created here. We've got nuclear waste. We've got frogs with 3 eyes. There are plastic bottles there. And it just, she's on this rock here trying to find some safety, and she's not going to be able to get back into the water. So she's not able to connect with her feelings, with her own sense of spirituality. She's not able to love and nurture and be there for people, because people have become so jaded and have made so many mistakes by being willful and by wanting convenience over anything, and not recycling and using the planet as their tipping ground, that creativity and innocence and genuine love and care and healing has become impossible, because human beings have all said me, my needs, what I want. They've then messed things up for themselves, because spells always backfire. If you cast a love spell, remember what you put out, you get back 3-fold. So you cast a love spell and you force someone to fall in love with you. First of all, it's unlikely to work. And second of all, it hits you 3 times harder that that person doesn't want you, because you will it to happen, and you can't will someone to love you. But because you're so focused and obsessed on that other person, the heartbreak when the spell fails is 3-fold, and you're like, why isn't this working? And you're just devastated and destroyed. And that's a mistake you've made in thinking. And it can lead to other people's death, but also your own emotional death in a sense. I wasn't loved, I wasn't wanted, I didn't get what I willed, so to hell with everyone else. I'm going to now live for myself and make it as convenient for myself, and drink crazy cola and gin and tonics, and I'm gonna take drugs to make myself feel better and screw the planet. And really, it's a sense of, well, I don't get what I want, so why should anyone else? Willfulness, incompetence, and the final result. Interesting in that here it says, we've got the word spell in here, and we've got someone casting spells, and the end of the human race. And she's a mermaid, but she represents all the qualities that are good about the human race. Caring about each other, and being open and intuitive and motherly and nurturing and helping someone in need. And that, we've crossed that line now, and it's beyond. You can't do anything at this stage. So the answer to this day is to really rethink what you're doing and to let go of your will, because the thing is, you never know what's good and bad for you anyway. I always say this, if you get accepted into a university for a degree in teaching, hooray, you're thrilled. Then you actually start doing the teaching course, and you realize that, oh, this isn't for me. And you start doing your year practical, and you get to know the children and the teaching process, and you really realize, oh, I don't want to do this job. You've wasted 2 years and a lot of money on student loans and living with other people, house sharing, and you will have gone through a lot of difficulty just because you willed something that then, poof, went to nothing, and you've got to start all over again. So instead of willing everything by yourself, find the balance And rather than casting a spell or something, a love spell or a poison, look at the spell book that indicates wisdom, how to gather more wisdom, how to connect with my higher self, how to let go of the ego, how to let go of the will. This is the ego personified. How do I let go of myself and see something bigger? When you do that, you don't mess around with your own ideas that could end in tragedy for yourself and for other people. And you're not a robot in a sense that you're just a tool for your will to be, because the ego is literally operating this robot and it's saying, must kill, must kill. So open things up, listen to your gut, listen to your feelings, listen to your higher self, and realize today that you really don't have all the answers. You don't know everything. And that there is this whole other way of being that the Dalai Lama knows about. The rest of us aren't quite there yet. And the Ascended Masters, people on this planet who've understood the spiritual nature of it and have raised their vibration to such an extent that they've ascended. And when you do that, we can avoid this kind of situation and we can turn the Queen of Cups around so she can be lifted out of this area and maybe brought down somewhere where there still is clean water and where she can live and swim again and take care and nurture and encourage other people to work together and to come together to clean up this mess. The best thing is prevention rather than cure. So instead of creating a big mess today by being super focused on your will and self-absorbed and self-indulgent and constantly focused on my needs, what do I want, what do I care about, what's going to make me happy, how can I get back to someone, how can I make more money, how can I get more power, the me states. Let that go and ask for guidance from the higher realms. That will then give you ideas which aren't a failing robot, but they're ideas that are genuinely useful and that will lead to something wonderful happening. You'll be inspired with good ideas when you let go. When you let go, you make space for something else to come in. So something else is going to provide you with ideas and inspiration, for example, that could solve a problem like this, which affects everybody. So there's a great possibility for you getting ideas and moving on to the path of enlightenment by discovering information which is going to be of service to humanity. But only if you heed this warning and you don't make the day all about yourself. Now, temperance, the number isn't on here. Temperance is 14. Then we've got a chord card which is 1 and another chord card which is 1. So 14, 15, 16, 1 and 6 is 7, and 7 is mind and creativity. So you're in charge of your mind. So rather than willing things, open your mind to bigger and greater ideas. And the universe has much more wisdom than you do. It's not a personal insult, but the collective unconscious, the Akashic records, all the knowledge that's ever been gathered is right there. And you haven't read every book in the Akashic library. None of us have. None of us have understood everything. So be teachable today instead of saying, I know it all. And when you become teachable, you're really able to communicate well with people and possibly even make great new connections. You may join a charity that is designed to clean up nature, or you may do something about global warming, which is a huge problem at the moment. So David Attenborough has been in the media lately really talking about that. And that then will connect you with other people, and you may make friends, even though your goal is to do something positive for the planet. So in a nutshell, be open to new ideas. You'll be inspired to do something new, which is going to have a positive effect for all of humanity. Have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. And in my personal readings, I use the tarot. I use the Radiant Rider Waite deck in my personal readings. I don't use this crazy deck when it comes to personal readings, because I really just quickly need to look at the archetypes, and there's a lot of detail and interpretation and different takes on things here. The astrology shows me everything about you. I draw it up by using your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, order a rectification with me. Once I have your chart drawn up, I can see everything about you, your life mission, where you've been in past lifetimes and why you've come back, what your life purpose is, what you're talented at vocationally, what's destined for you in love and finances and health and moving and travel and learning new languages and career, and also what's coming up in future in those areas and what you can do to change the future in those areas, and what you can work with and what areas you can focus on and let go of, and what areas you can really devote yourself to. So have a great day. For the personal reading, go to gregoryscott.com if you're interested and order it there. And I'll speak to you tomorrow.